Something big is about to happen to Robinhood, and depending on how they play their cards, it could mean the end of the company. And this isn't a for sure thing, but stay till the end of the video and you'll have some insider information about what could be the demise of Robinhood and several other brokerages. Hey homies, my name is Matt Lurker, and welcome to my channel where I talk about finance, investing, motorcycles, and overall just living a good life. In this video, I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes look into something huge that's happening with Robinhood and that would definitely affect some of the other major investment brokerages that you are probably using. I'm going to tell you what's going on, why this is happening, and what you can expect to see in the near future. So here's the big deal. For all you smarty pantses out there, it's probably digestible in really just one sentence. And for the rest of you non-smarty pantses like myself, stay through the rest of the video and I'll do my best to explain what's going on and I'll break it down for you so we can all understand it. So here it is. The SEC chairman Gary Gensler said in an interview with Barron's that a full ban on payment for order flow or routing your order flow is on the table. Okay, hold up. What does that even mean? What is payment for order flow? What is routing your order flow? What is this going to mean for Robinhood? How does that affect them? How does that affect me? Don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you. But first, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, it means a whole lot to the almighty YouTube gods to see likes on good videos. And if you think this video is good at all, or if you like it in the tiniest bit, I would really appreciate it if you drop a like on the video and make that like button turn blue. Thank you, and now back to explaining payment for order flow. Robinhood's platform is completely free to use in its most basic form, which leaves people wondering how do they actually make their money. Well, Robinhood utilizes a business model called payment for order flow. Payment for order flow, or routing your order flow, is a super common practice that's used by companies such as Robinhood, E-Trade, Fidelity, Eagle, TradeStation, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, and TD Ameritrade. And it can get much more technical than this with a lot of moving parts, but in a simple form, imagine this. Let's say that you want to buy shares of Tesla and you're willing to pay $730 for a share. This is the ask price in this scenario. You place your order using Robinhood or some other company that uses payment for order flow. To execute your order to buy one share of Tesla, Robinhood sends your order to a market maker like Citadel Securities, Virtue Financial, or Wolverine Trading. The market maker then attempts to execute your trade on the public exchange on behalf of Robinhood. If the market maker can then find Tesla at $728 a share on the public market, then they're going to execute your trade for you at $728 rather than $730. $728 here is the bid price. If the market maker was able to execute your trade at a lower bid price than the ask price, then that is called the bid-ask spread. And that bid-ask spread is split between the market maker and the brokerage as profit. So they split that difference together and everybody wins because the market maker gets $1, your broker gets $1, and you have your trade executed at the price that you requested. And in real life, the profits per share are typically less than $1. But you can see how if the broker and the market maker were able to increase the volume of trades that they're executing, then they would be able to increase the amount of profit that they get from the bid-ask spread. Because it doesn't matter if their bid-ask spread is only like 10 cents. If they execute 1,000 trades or 10,000 trades, then they're making money. And they're making more money this way than they would have if they were executing less trades but with commission fees. And the market maker here is actually legally obligated to execute your trade in the best possible way. And there is some specific language surrounding what they have to do, but essentially they're supposed to execute the trade in the best possible way. However, best possible way could be interpreted to mean as fast as possible or at the lowest price. And so they could do things however they want to, really. And so you as the retail investor may not actually always get the lowest price available to you. And if you're like most people, then you probably didn't even bother to actually read all the disclosures given to you when you open your account with, it doesn't even matter which one of these brokerages, but they are required to let you know and to disclose how they make their money. And this is exactly how Robinhood makes the majority of their money. In fact, from a report from earlier this year in July, it was disclosed that Robinhood makes about 50% of their revenue from payment for order flow. Robinhood is rightfully credited with the idea of commission-free trading, making it possible for investors like you and me to get started in investing with a very low barrier to entry. Whether you support it or not, commission-free trading was made possible on the backbone of payment for order flow. Just like every other business in the world, brokers need to make money and continue bringing in more money in order to keep their doors open. And if they can increase the volume of trades that they're making every day through commission-free trading, then they stand to make more money through payment for order flow. There's a lot more to the story on whether or not payment for order flow is actually good for investors overall, or whether it's actually good for the market as a whole. But it is undeniable that removing commission fees has opened up the world of investing to those who maybe wouldn't have started or maybe wouldn't have started as soon. And right now, that's all under attack. You see, after the insanity that took place back in January when Robinhood and other brokerages began restricting trades of securities like AMC, GameStop, and Nokia, the SEC has begun to take a look into this business model that these brokerages are operating on. And if you're not familiar, the SEC is basically like the police of the whole finance industry. Everything is regulated by the SEC. They are the Securities and Exchange Commission, and they were created after the stock market crash in the 1920s to help regulate the industry. So if that sounds kind of scary, then you'll understand that getting slapped with a fine from the SEC is a big deal. And just being investigated by the SEC is also a very big deal. And that brings us back to earlier in the video where I mentioned that Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, has said that banning payment for order flow is on the table. In his interview with Barron's, Gary Gensler indicated that transparency is a major concern right now over at the SEC. And he cited concerns that payment for order flow is not necessarily benefiting the client, but it is possibly incentivizing brokerages and market makers just to make more profit for themselves in the background. And there was no plan for how payment for order flow was going to be phased out or if it's just going to be banned altogether. But his comments do put into jeopardy the profits of every major brokerage that offers commission-free trading that the average American is using. And there's really only two ways that Robinhood could react to this sort of regulatory change. They would either go out of business or they would have to start charging commissions for their trades. It's possible that they would implement maybe a threshold of different levels of fees depending on how big your order was or something like that. But they would have to institute some sort of commission fees in order to stay afloat. And I think that they're smart enough and aware enough to see something like this coming. But on the off chance that they're not, then their solvency as a company would definitely be in jeopardy. And with Robinhood's entire mission being based around making investing accessible to the average person, would they have the same amount of trade volume if they introduced commission fees? Or how many people would even stay with Robinhood after our beloved free trading app is not so free anymore? I don't think they would have nearly as many active users if they were to introduce commission trading fees, but there's definitely a case to be made against payment for order flow. With less people actively trading, then there should be less volatility in the market, and the market should be able to reach a happy equilibrium more often than not. Massive social movements found on Reddit or TikTok or any other corner of the internet may not get as much traction because the average investor may not be so inclined to jump into the bandwagon and pump up a stock if they had to pay $5 for every trade they were going to make. And whether you think it's a good thing or not that we have so many people jumping into momentum trades like on AMC, GameStop, or Dogecoin, the truth of the matter is that if we were to remove payment for order flow and reintroduce commission fees, then there would be a drastically lower amount of people jumping into these momentum trades. And is that good for the market as a whole, removing volatility and momentum? Or are we just taking away power from the average investor? So is it worth getting rid of payment for order flow? Maybe, maybe not, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts about whether you think that reintroducing commission fees would help stabilize markets, or if it would just raise the barrier to investing to some people who may never get started because of it. Either way though, I love you guys, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, you're still here. I didn't expect you to be, but since you're still here, check out this video. I was recently day trading stocks on Robinhood, and if you want to see how much money I made, go ahead and watch that video. Go ahead.